Happy Monday, my Purple Banditos, and welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Glazed. I'm PurpleRodri. Last time, we ran around catching a couple more legendary Pokemon, and in today's episode, we are going to make our way back to the Johto region and see if we can catch a bunch of the Johto's legendaries. So let's go ahead and make our way back to Southerly City. We actually have a lot of exploring that we're going to need to do today, so once again, thank you guys for your tips and your comments. They're much appreciated. Make sure you guys give this video a like, as it really helps the series. So let's go ahead and take our plane back to Johto. Now, one of the things that I want to make sure that you guys keep in mind when we are going ahead and going legendary hunting, which I'm assuming that you guys are going to be doing as well, just remember how to travel from region to region, because I know it's something that can probably get a little bit confusing because it is so much different in every little area. So just make sure that you know what you're doing and how to get from place to place, because it's something that we're going to be doing quite a lot going after these legendaries. So now that we're here in Ecruteak City, we actually need to make our way up the Brass Tower. If you guys remember, we didn't really have access to it before, but now we do. So let's go ahead and make our way inside of this place then, and it looks like we are gonna have to climb our way to the top, and there are going to be a couple battles along the way too. So go ahead and give this video a like as we take on the first one. So it looks like the Pokemon in this tower are actually going to be pretty easy, so I think we're gonna have a good time going up this place. So let's go ahead and keep it going. Okay, let's see what else we have up here. I'm probably just going to go ahead and battle this guy. These battles are actually really easy. Good thing our Pokemon are much higher level than these guys. Are we there yet? Have we made it to the top yet? I think we must be close. Yeah, definitely. This is looking very good for us. Even though I've never really explored this place before, I'm just going to go ahead and take a couple guesses that we're getting close, because we have actually took down a lot of these trainers up here. Ooh, very cool. So if you guys are interested in, some of these Pokemon up in this tower, go right ahead. There's always a couple random ones hitting in these places that we've never explored before, so it's cool to see. All right, with that, guys, let's keep making our way to the top of the tower then. This looks about right. Okay, great. Let's see if this will actually take us to the top. I think we're just about there, so very cool. This is, if you're tired, use this warp to return to the ground floor. So I suppose you at least have a way out. And with that, guys, we have made it to the top of Brass Tower.
Can you feel it? Something in the world has changed. The North Wind feels stronger, doesn't it? I haven't felt this great in 5 years. Have you heard the rumors? Entei and Raikou have returned. Perhaps more unbelievably, I've heard reports of a Suicune. I didn't know there were more than one. Forgive me for rambling. I better return to the league now. Goodbye.
So with that, guys, it looks like Suicune has had to take care of something up here. It looks like all the legendaries in all these regions are going nuts. Now, one of the cool things is if we do go up the tower, talk to Suicune, we can actually just go ahead and make our way back up the tower, and it's actually going to go ahead and help us out a little bit, because once we go ahead and make our way back up the tower, there is going to be another legendary waiting for us, as you guys can see. So let's go ahead and catch this Pokemon.
Have you come to pay respects to me, child? Wait, you were the one from before, are you not? The one who conquered Regina. Surely it is. I'm forever your debt, young one. If there is anything at all I might do for you. A battle? I suppose I can do that. Here we go.
Here we go, Rodri versus Ho-Oh, and it's kind of cool how he says, here we go. So let's go ahead and take this guy on. Now, if you guys remember, I do have a lot of Master Balls that I've gone ahead and bought from the shop, so this is just what we're going to go ahead and do. We're just going to go and catch these Pokemon. Now, I know that a lot of you guys will probably go ahead and use some Ultra Balls against these guys. Just be prepared. Weaken them down as much as possible, put them to sleep, and hope that you can catch these Pokemon. With that, Ho-Oh was caught, so very cool. Let's go ahead and give this guy a nickname then. Its feathers, which glow in 7 colors depending on the angle in which they are struck by light, are thought to bring joy. And I think that is quite fitting, so we're going to go ahead and give this Pokemon a nickname. We are going to go ahead and call this Pokemon after one of my favorite nurses, Nurse Joy. And with that, guys, we are ready to go ahead and move on to our next location. And by next location, I'm actually talking about going right back here to Ecruteak City, because we need to make our way to the Bell Tower now. So remember, we have the Brass Tower, we have Bell Chime Trail leading to the Bell Tower, and these are the two places where there's going to be a lot of legendary Pokemon. If you guys remember, it's here in this place in Johto, I would say, in Ekritique, that there was a lot of myth behind legendaries. There was always the whole thing with Ho-Oh. There was everything going on with Suicune, Raikou, and Entei. So there's always been just a lot going on in this city, I feel like. So it's kind of cool that in Glazed, they've also gone ahead and placed all of the legendaries here. So let's continue going up then. I thought we were going to have to use our bike for this place. And there we go. I do remember actually making our way up this place. So this one isn't as difficult to climb up. This is actually a pretty simple path. We've climbed up this path before, if you guys remember, and we did really good. We had to make our way to the top because Regina was placing a bunch of orbs here and there, trying to capture legendaries. Who knows? That whole Team Fusion thing was a complete mess. I feel like they had a bunch of different reasons of why they were doing everything. They need to really get that together in their organization. Just set like one goal for themselves, you know? Just catch one legendary or, you know, take over the world. Don't put too much on your plate there, evil organization. You might want to just go ahead and, you know, set some realistic expectations for you guys. I think we're doing really good though. We're just about to the top. I know once we get to a bunch of teleporting tiles, that's pretty much a direct path to the top. This is not it though, so just keep on following through here. I know that there's gonna be a lot of tiles that look like they're good, but they're actually not. They're just thrown in here to trip you guys up. I believe I've took the fastest path though, so if you guys just follow this, you should be good to make your way to the top without no trouble whatsoever. And there we go, guys. We have made it to the top. And now I actually want to talk to you guys about these 3 legendary Pokemon. Now, there are a lot of different tactics that you can use, and by that I mean, in order to actually find these legendary Pokemons, you have to use a couple cheats, I guess you could say, kind of like glitches, using an escape rope up here, or using a dig in order to be able to walk through walls. So that is something that I'm going to have to figure out, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've gone ahead and figured it out. Now I've tried different methods like the escape rope method, like the dig method, and they actually didn't work for me. So I've gone ahead and just used a walk through walls cheat. It's a Gameshark code, which I'll go ahead and link for you guys in the description for those of you who are having the same problem as me. With that though guys, we're going to go ahead and talk to the 3 legendary beasts here, and let's start with Suicune.
Many years ago, a fellow Suicune of mine was chased by a fellow from these parts named Ucine. He eventually befriended this man, and from what I've heard, they battle side by side as partners. You have a distinct aura about you. Perhaps you would be up for a battle.
Here we go, Rodri versus Suicune. And as I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and continue explaining the whole glitch situation up here in this tower. So apparently, something's going on with this tower in the... leading up to Beta 7B, which is the one I'm on for Pokemon Glazed. That's the one that I'm playing on, which is the latest one. So apparently, leading up to this beta, there are a bunch of different glitches that you can do to trigger this sequence. So the good thing for us is that we actually had the chance to see Ho-Oh, but the one that most people have trouble with is these legendary beasts. So the fact that we had to use a walkthrough wall cheat isn't something that is too out of the norm, because I feel like everybody has had to use a glitch of some sort in the previous betas leading to this beta to catch these 3 legendaries. So just make sure that depending on what beta you are, you go ahead and check that, because there are a bunch of different methods to catching these.
Trio flee because we know our power, but you've got something special, that's for sure. I came to pay my respects to Ho, but he would understand if you want to battle.
Here we go, Rodri versus Entei. So let's go ahead and take Entei on. Now, the cool thing about this is that at least we do still have a chance to take on the legendaries, and at least we figured it out. Now, what can I tell you guys? It's a Pokemon hack, so of course it's not going to be perfect. Now, what was happening to me is I kept going up and down those stairs, and none of these Pokemon were appearing, and that's something that happens in these hacks sometimes. So you have to find little ways around it, but I definitely think that for those of you guys that have been having these similar issues, because I know that it's pretty much the same problem from all these versions, the hack should work for you. The Gameshark code that I'll link to you guys should work for you.
I usually run from trainers, but I can feel something different from you. You've seen a lot from my years, huh? Ho saved my life. I perished when the brass towers burned. He revived me. I've come to pay my respects, but if you come for a battle, I can oblige.
Here we go, Rodri versus Raikou. So here we go, guys, the last of the legendary beasts, and good for us that we've gone ahead and caught them. So I'm really happy with that. Let's go ahead and throw another Master Ball then. And that should go ahead and catch the Raikou for us. And we are looking good to continue going on. Now, I believe that these are the only legendaries that we're going to have to do some sort of hack, glitch, cheat in order to catch. After this, hopefully, the rest will be quite simple, and that the sequence of events will actually work and get triggered when we appear in that area. So with that, we're going to go ahead and call this Pokemon... a wave, like electric current, like a wave. And with that, guys, we're done up here. So no reason to use this Gameshark code anymore. And I'll go ahead and take us to our next location. Next up, we're here in Azalea Town, and we're actually going to be making our way to the Elex Forest, and you guys can probably take a good guess of what Pokemon's going to be hiding here in the Elex Forest, and it is going to be Celebi, which we have encountered before, so very, very cool. If you guys remember last time we were actually running around here in Azalea, there was a bunch of Team Fusion grunts just in this place, just trying to burn this whole area down. So hopefully now things have calmed down a little bit, and we'll actually be able to talk to Celebi. The Elex Forest Shrine, all of evidence of the fire has vanished.
I remember! You were there when that horrid woman burned my forest, but I made it beautiful again. Do you want to battle me? Well, let's battle then!
Here we go, Rodri versus Celebi. So let's go ahead and take on Celebi. And Celebi is just a cute little Pokemon. He went ahead and healed up the forest, grew all these trees again, stopped the fire from spreading. That's really cool. I love to see Pokemon that really care about this earth. It's awesome because it is their world too, if you think about it. So the fact that we are hurting their little forest is just hurting ourselves. With that, we went ahead and caught Celebi though. So very cool. Let's go ahead and give this Celebi a nickname. I'm going to call it something funny. I was thinking about this just because Celebi always time travels, right? And I've mentioned to you guys what my favorite show is right now. So I'm going to go ahead and call this Pokemon Flash, like the Flash. With that, guys, let's go ahead and make our way to the next area. Okay, so last but not least, we are back here in Olivine City. We're gonna have to make our way to Route 40, and if you guys go ahead and talk to this sailor, he'll actually take you to a location where Lugia is going to be, so that's very cool. Now, one of the things is that you actually need to have Dive and Surf, so let me go ahead and teach Dive to one of our Pokemon then. This is something that you have to have, so you have to have these two moves before the sailor will even take you to where Lugia is. So let's just go ahead, we'll teach it to Chompy. Oh, I'm going to have to go ahead and revamp all of Chompy's moves as we progress before we take on the champion of Rancor. I've actually been thinking of taking on the champion of Rancor next time because there are still so many legendary Pokemon for us to catch after that. And I know that we are actually going to have a battle or two that will be a little bit more difficult than the champion of Rancor, so I've really been thinking about just going ahead and trying that out too. With that though, we've gone ahead and made it. This guy has approximately calculated exactly where Lugia is, so who knows how this sailor went ahead and discovered that, but good for him. This guy has got some talent if he really figured out where the heck Lugia was. It's kind of funny that this sailor did that, because it would be really, really cool if someone did that in real life for the Loch Ness Monster right now. If someone could just go ahead and track where it was, follow its patterns, find it in some underwater cave, and if all we needed was surf and dive in order to actually find it, you know, that would be one of the best things. I hope someday we do find the Loch Ness Monster, or we end up getting a picture of it that's a lot more clear, or maybe more people see it, or something of that sort. I think that would be really, really great. So we have officially made it to where Lugia is.
I remember you well, young one. We met Obey briefly, just before the shaman captured me. Violence were sank because villainous organizations attempted to steal me. I was only a baby, and my mother rescued me. Angered at humans, she sank our home, but I'm older now, and my mother's gone. When I was stolen, it was you who saved me. How shall I repay you? A battle? I suppose I can oblige. Let's go!
Here we go, Rodri versus Lugia. So let's go ahead and take on the Lugia that we rescued before. And here we go. Lugia is level 75, and we're going to go ahead and throw our Master Ball at it. We are not letting this Lugia get away, especially after all the trouble that we actually had to go through in order to find it. I'm sure that poor sailor's been working his whole life tracking this Lugia. So with that, guys, gotcha, Lugia was caught. And you know, it kind of surprised me that the sailor wasn't the one that wanted to go after this Lugia. So Lugia, the diving Pokemon, so powerful even a light fluttering of its wings can blow apart houses. That's a little scary. We're going to go ahead and give this Lugia a nickname then. And I'm just going to go ahead and call it... We'll just call it something similar to its name, and we'll go ahead and call it Lu, like Lugia. With that, it looks like we are done here for today, and we are also done catching these Johto legendaries. So I know that there are also a bunch of new legendaries that have been added here in this beta of the game, so I might have overlooked a couple, but I'll be going ahead and making sure that we catch all those legendaries as well. There's a lot to this game, there's a lot to these legendaries, so it's something that I'm figuring it out one step at a time, you know, I'm figuring it out alongside alongside you guys. So make sure that you guys leave me some tips and some comments on these legendaries that we still have to catch. I know that there's still a few that you usually wouldn't even know about in this beta that just kind of got thrown in here. So we're still gonna have to go looking for some of those too. With that though, let's go ahead and get out of here. It looks like we have finished up for today. Once again, make sure you guys leave me some tips and some comments. They're much appreciated. Make sure you guys give this video a like, as it really does help the series. Next time, we'll continue the legendary hunting and hopefully catch a bunch more. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Goodbye.